the biggest problem in America? We don't save. And then what happens? We're in trouble, right? Because if we don't save, we spend too much, and then we don't have any money, right? So it's very important to save. When is a good time to start saving?
Now.
Very good. Never is too early to save. Okay, so I'll tell you about me and my story before we start with this. I grew up in Mexico, very, very poor. Like really, really poor. I grew up in a neighborhood, we didn't have roofs. We didn't have floors. We had dirt. My mom was a single mom. My dad was alcoholic and abusive. And we was 2 kids and my mom and I. And I had big dreams and I wanted to go to school, but I couldn't go to school. And I wanted to learn and I wanted to have big things and I didn't. And in Mexico, unlike here, you don't save, you don't go to the bank, you live day by day. Sometimes we didn't have food and sometimes there was no Christmases, there was no things. So, how are you?
Good, how are you?
So, for us, the idea of saving, of the idea of dreaming of the future, there was none of that. So that was me, my story. So I started working a row just to have food in Christmas time. And what saved me was something that was community. For Christmas, I remember but also because I started working early, one thing that I didn't know how to was the idea of saving. Hey, I was working. It was so exciting to have money. I would go and spend it all because I had money. I was working and I would give some to my mom and I would go and I buy my shoes and I buy everything I wanted. So I didn't know how to save. So I would go and spend it all and I would live day by day. But I wanted to go to school. So then I came to America and I was an immigrant here and I would send money back home. And I started learning about the idea of saving. And I learned a word that was very important. I learned it in English. I didn't even know what it meant in Spanish, which was budgeting. Anybody knows what budgeting means? You guys know what budgeting means? Anybody can help me?
It's pretty much like a list of what you put your money towards, bills, expenses, needs, wants.
Yes, that's right. Anybody else?
Money.
Exactly. It was a very simple word for a fancy creating a list of, sorry, I'm messing up with the technology. But I started creating my list, okay, I make $100 a week, and with that 100, I'm going to spend 20 in rent, I'm gonna spend $20 on this, I'm gonna send my mom this. So I started budgeting. I didn't know what it was, but I started making a list to get more organized. So I'm gonna send this much to my mom, I'm gonna spend this much on food, and I started saving because I wanted to go to school so bad that I had to save for it. I couldn't just do what I was doing. And I started learning the concept of saving. And also, I started learning the concept of credit. Anybody knows what credit is? No? Credit? Go ahead.
Always on me.
I don't know like the exact definition, but it's just pretty much it helps you with whatever you want to like buy homes or business, things of that nature. The higher credit, the more you get accepted for it. It pretty much just like tracks like you'll know like you'll pay this money back if you're borrowing this type of thing.
Okay. Anybody else? And you don't have to pay immediately, but you have to pay it back. That doesn't mean you don't pay it, but you have to pay it back, right? Okay. So let's think of this before we get into this. So credit, you buy something, you have to pay back, but not immediately. It's very important. So building credit is very important because it will help in the future when you want to buy your dream house, when you want to buy a car. But here in America, when you get to college, a lot of companies are going to come and are going to hand you a credit card, which can be very good, but also can be very dangerous. So it's very important that you start early because you have to be responsible with credit. Credit will help you build a history which will allow you to be responsible. And how you are responsible, you will get a credit card at some point, which will allow you to buy things, and you will be responsible by paying every month your credit card, and that will help you build your credit history. Which means in time, build what's called a credit score, which when you get ready to save money in the future, buy your bigger things, your car, your house, whatever you want in the future, right? Okay, so first,